Hello, my name is Paul Braun, and I am the training specialist for Advantage Treatment Centers. Welcome to this training on the Ethical Code of Conduct and Professionalism. In this training, we are going to be identifying the Ethical Code of Conduct from the DCJ standards, and we will provide examples of unethical behavior that are listed in the Employee Handbook. We will cover the basic principles of professional communication and our interaction with clients. It is also our goal to understand Advantage Treatment Center's social media policies and cover the ethical relationship expectations. Here is a visual aid to reflect back on through not just this training, but also through our day-to-day interactions with clients, family members of clients, and the communities that we serve to ensure that our professional interactions stay therapeutic in nature and are not under-involved or show that we do not care or that we can be taken advantage of due to the lack of effort or adherence to the needs of others, or that we are not over involved and end up creating a situation that can be taken advantage of so that we as staff are not being manipulated. As professionals in our field, we rely on the standards put forth by the DCJ manual in how we ethically conduct ourselves so that we maintain ethical practices that clients can observe and emulate, as well as to protect ourselves from being put in situations that result in professional disciplinary actions that could lead to termination or even legal action. Some boundaries we can use to protect ourselves is to never accept any form of advantages or gifts or favors from any clients or family members of clients. We do not display favoritism or preferential treatment. We do not have any personal or business relationships with clients. We do not assign work duties to clients that give one client any form of supervision over another client or clients. We do not assign work duties that will monetarily improve the value of the facility or provide us with personal benefits as a staff member. And we do not assign specialized chores or show favoritism through assigning chores. Advantage Treatment Centers wishes to create a work environment that promotes job satisfaction, respect, responsibility, integrity, and value for all our staff members, clients, customers, and other stakeholders. We all share in the responsibility of improving the quality of our work environment. To create this work environment, it is the duty of everyone to ensure that our conduct is not inappropriate, and while it is impossible to list everything that could be considered misconduct in the workplace, your handbook lists some of these more common sense infractions that could end up resulting in some form of discipline, up to and including immediate termination of employment. Please see the Ethical Code of Conduct in the ATC Employee Handbook located in the Google Shared Drive, ATC Drive. Some of these infractions include, but are not limited to, possessing, using, distributing, selling, or negotiating the sale of illegal drugs or other controlled substances, being under the influence of alcohol during any company function on company property, during work hours, or while operating a company vehicle, inaccurately reporting worked or not reporting other staff members who are inaccurately reporting hours worked, providing intentionally inaccurate, incomplete, or misleading information when speaking on behalf of the company, and any conduct that does not value the dignity or respect of our clients, or direct or indirect outside contact with any current or past clients within a 2-year time frame of them being a client in the program for any non-work related purposes outside of the program. This also includes any contact via personal cell phones, being friends on social media, or any other communication applications. We do not contact clients or client family members on our personal cell phones or give out our personal contact information to clients or their family members. Keep your personal information personal. Realize also that clients may approach you in a public setting, in the store, or in any other locations outside of work. Please remember that we are still expected to protect that client's confidentiality in those settings, even when it is them that approach you. In all our interactions, we need to communicate respectfully and appropriately while assuring that all clients and staff are being treated with fairness, dignity, and respect. We respect the individual differences of our staff and clients and seek to safeguard the safety, dignity, and the well-being of all. Advantage Treatment Center has a zero tolerance policy against discrimination and mistreatment of any clients. To communicate effectively, make sure to treat clients with respect while maintaining a positive professional attitude and also maintaining a professional and therapeutic relationship. Treat all clients equally. Use professional language, use professional body language, posture, and facial expressions. Listen to client needs. Pay attention to and encourage good behavior and progress of clients. Be a role model and an available resource to clients and other staff members, and treat everyone equally. We are all required to do some form of written communication, whether it be an email to staff or an incident report on a rule infraction by a client. Make sure that you are thinking before you write, and make sure that you are not writing with malice or emotional bias. Keep your report simple and clear, but be detailed and factful. Try to find the right balance between professional and respectful writing styles to ensure that information is clear but not offensive, demeaning, or derogatory, and always check for grammar and spelling errors. Avoid terms that are considered jargon or slang, and do not abbreviate things in an effort to ensure that the information is understood by all, and stay objective and focused on the information at all times. The confidentiality of clients in the program is so important to client care. Clients need to know that their medical and treatment information is protected at all times. This builds an environment where clients can feel safe and trust in staff, and trust starts with confidentiality. Not only is it important to the clients, but DCJ standards also require the program to protect the confidentiality of the client's treatment and medical records, as well as under HIPAA and the Office of Behavioral Health. There are federal and state laws that recognize that patient privacy and confidentiality is a critical issue, and they have taken actions to protect these rights. One of the first issues we see when it comes to protecting clients' confidentiality is when client family members or friends contact the facility by phone. To protect that confidentiality, ATC staff will not acknowledge any client's presence in the program without first verifying that a release of information is on file that authorizes us to release that they are in the program. If you receive a phone call and there is no release of information on file, use this simple script and tell them, if that client is enrolled in our program, we will give him or her the message, I'm sorry, but I cannot confirm or deny that that client is in the program, or if he or she will receive the message. If you're still not sure what to do, just ask. Your director or coordinator, as well as the ATC training team, is always happy to help. Communication about these issues is key to keeping ourselves, our communities, and our clients safe. As you all should have watched the PRIA training video as part of your onboarding, this is just a refresher. It is important to remember ethically that sexual conduct between staff and clients is prohibited by ATC, federal PRIA standards, and the Colorado State Statute pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute 187701, and it is a crime. This applies to all employees, contract workers, or volunteers. This statute includes any form of sexual contact, sexual assault, sexual harassment, or sexual abuse. There is no such thing as any form of consensual sexual contact between a client and a staff member. PRIA standards require that staff respond to any and all allegations, no matter how they are reported. If you see or hear of any potential PRIA violation, it is important for the safety of the staff and clients that you report it by any means, either in writing, verbally, or confidentially, and know that it will be responded to. Also know that all staff are expected to help protect clients from any form of retaliation, and to report any retaliation by staff or clients to a supervisor. So if you know of or are suspicious of any inappropriate relationship between clients and staff or any retaliation by clients or staff, report it immediately. To recap, never accept gifts from or give gifts to clients or client family members. Maintain professional relationships always, regardless of location. Never fraternize or associate with clients outside of work. Always follow policy and procedure, regardless of how clients or family or friends of clients may try to persuade you. Don't talk about personal matters at work. The walls have ears, and clients may overhear and may attempt to use what they have heard against you. Treat everyone equally, regardless of how sorry you feel for them, as they can use that over-involvement to try to persuade you to bend the rules. Set your boundaries and stick by them. Don't let someone else move your boundary line. What is a boundary? A boundary is an imaginary line that separates two parties, whether it be separating your physical space or your feelings, your needs, or your responsibilities from others. Boundaries also clarify what is acceptable and what is not, and tells other people how they can treat you. We should all have boundaries that we set, not just for ourselves, but also for others. Areas that we know that are things we must do or must not do, and hold our boundary lines in place, or request that others help us hold those boundaries if we are struggling with their implementation. Personal boundaries provide protections by keeping out things that can be used against you, such as family information, contact information, such as your home address or personal phone numbers, relationship details, such as your friends, family, or loved ones that could be targeted, and personal details about your individual thoughts, feelings, or beliefs that are not relevant to work. Professional boundaries ensure that we keep to that therapeutic relationship and clearly define what our expectations are about accountability to program rules, consistency with the handbook, and following proper policy and procedure. They communicate how we expect others to behave in our work environment. Be sure to clearly communicate your boundaries to people, because when expectations are not communicated and met prior to an event, then resentment and anger grows. Some boundary situations that you may be faced with include forms of flattery, flirting or compliments, inappropriate comments or jokes, sexual innuendos, and sexual jokes. Social media, friend requests, inappropriate personal questions such as relationship status or who are you dating, clients giving gifts or bribing in exchange for bending the rules. It can also include things such as inappropriate touching, propositions, or requests for contact outside of work for non-work purposes. When it comes to technology such as social media, it is important to set and keep our ethical boundaries in place. Advantage Treatment Centers recognizes that dual relationships can and will happen in rural areas. ATC does not expect our staff members to isolate themselves socially, but we do expect that all relationships be disclosed to your coordinator or director. We also prohibit contact with current clients, client family members, and past clients and their family members for up to 2 years after being in the program on any social media platform. This includes any form of text messaging or email. If you are currently connected with current or past clients on social media, via email, or via text message, please disclose this to your supervisor immediately and never use social media or personal phone to contact clients for work purposes. When setting boundaries with others, you may be clear, or you must be clear about what you need and where the line is. Be direct, don't beat around the bush, and don't apologize for why you need the boundary. Also remember that others may not like that boundary that you set, so be prepared and expect some pushback, but do not let it deter you or change where you set the line. Setting boundaries is an ongoing process that you may have to repeat a few times. Just remember to stay firm and consistent. And remember that when you set a boundary, it is for your personal and professional well being and not as a means of controlling others. If you struggle setting boundaries, consider having a script prepared for when the situation requires setting a boundary, and practice the script so that you can communicate the boundary objectively, clearly, and firmly. You want to be assertive with boundaries, so being prepared is helpful. You can shape your script in any way that works for you, but as an example, grabbing my hand was not appropriate and makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm going to need you to not grab my hand again. When we are setting boundaries, we are trying to set a clear expectation of what is appropriate and not appropriate. We are not trying to create a barrier between us and client. We want to keep our communications clear, but not cut off communications or cause a barrier in good client care. So be mindful of the tone used, the body language displayed. To close, remember to keep your ethical code of conduct with clients and the community as a therapeutic relationship and avoid under-involvement or over-involvement. To help ourselves with this, as well as our fellow coworkers, it is each of our individual duties to report work performance issues to the director, coordinator, human resources, or PREA coordinator. Any issues that are a blatant disregard for any policy or practice, or any forms of retaliation by staff or clients towards others. It is our duty to report any client interactions of inappropriate relationships, PREA violations, or discriminatory treatment of clients, or any boundary issues such as inappropriate contact with clients or contact with clients or family of clients outside of work for non-work purposes. Again, thank you for joining me for this training, and if you have any questions, please reach out to myself or Christy Garcia at the information shown on your screen. Have a good day.